What up, YouTube? You got Sarge here. Big shout out to the Crap Nation crew. What up, Crap Nation people? Hey, some of you know, I just got back from doing a little trip down to Shreveport, Louisiana. Uh, Went down there Tuesday, Wednesday of this past week here. Stayed at my favorite casino down there, Bali's, which is the old El Dorado, with Sam's Town next door. That's my usual hunting ground. Go down there, hit those two casinos up, and it's been about 3 months since I was down there. So me and the wife headed down there. Got down there right about. We headed down there on Tuesday. We pulled up about 2 p.m. ish. Got checked into our rooms. Everything was great. Great drive down. No issues. Got checked into our room. Uh, that went good. And by 3 p.m., we was downstairs on the casino floor. The wife threw up the deuces, said she was going to hit her slots. And of course, I made a beeline to the craps pit. So as I'm walking up, first thing I notice is that the regular crap table is closed. And the one thing down there in Shreveport at the Bali's is they normally always have the crapless crap table open because it's like, I guess it's the most popular game, that people want to play, and all the locals that's there, from around that area, which basically a neighborhood surrounds the area. They're normally there when they get off of work, and that's the game of choice. So I was like, okay, cool. That's what I wanted to play anyhow. And I was looking forward to playing regular craps too, but that table was closed. Checked out the table. It was a $10 table. I was like, okay, wow, $10 table. Didn't think I was going to be seeing the lights of that for a while, but I said, okay, cool. That worked out. So, right, let me go to my notes here. Got a few notes, so I'm going to be referring to my notes back and forth from time to time. Uh, like I said, got down 3 p.m. So, my initial plan was to get to the table, get on there, get dialed in, and before I commit any serious money to try and do some damage, basically I like I like playing at the green chip level, playing $25 chips. But I only like doing that after I get, I feel comfortable, that I'm dialed in and the dice are doing what I want them to do. Uh, Except it didn't quite play out that way this time, and I'll get into that uh, here in a minute. It ended up being a actual slow bleed, but so this is the first time uh, that I was actually gonna be throwing the chopper, my new found number one toss. I'm telling you, the chopper is the greatest toss in the world, guys. You gotta learn it. But this is the first time I was gonna be throwing it in Shreveport. I've used it at Choctaw, and I feel good about Choctaw. Now I'm dialed in. It takes a bit of dialing in. It took me a bit of dialing in Choctaw. And once again, the same thing happened down here in Shreveport, and I'll tell you how it played out here. Uh, but the last time I was down in Shreveport, I was throwing, which was about 3 months ago, like I said, I was throwing the regular three finger grip par GTC type toss, and I had all my different let's say points, as far as my pickup point, my landing zone, all that locked in. Just like most of you guys, I was shooting the dice coming in right over the big six, big eight down in that area, just across from the hook, and that's with par GTC. But with the chop, it was a little bit different. Didn't quite play out that way. So, all right. So I'll tell you why here. So here we go. Walked up to the crapless crap table. It's crapless crap right off the bat. I'm thinking, great. I'm gonna break out my kissing three set. I normally offset them so it's 6226, okay, or 2662, kissing threes. And again, and you can see from the setup of the dice, a single pitch, you're gonna end up with a bunch of crap numbers, and that's why I love this set. Actually, in last live fantasy crap session here, when I used that set, it worked out perfect. But that was fantasy. This is for real. So here goes. Walked up to the crapless crap table, bought him for 200. Like I said, it was a $10 table. It had 6 shooters on the table. As soon as I walked up, of course, the dice had just went to the next shooter on the other side with the stick man where I was at. And so that means they had to go all the way around. So I started off, I automatically realized, hey, some of these guys are known good shooter. At least 2 or 3 of them was known good shooters. So I decided, okay, you know what? Maybe on a couple of these guys, when I say known good shooters, these guys are, I'll say they're practice shooters. I know them. So anyhow, I take and I see, a couple of randos. I go 6'8" and a few randos. I want to get to one of the good guys. And 6'8", the 6'8" worked out well, kind of going up and down. Either sometime I would recoup my $24 investment, and next guy comes up, I would lose my $24 investment on a PSO, and then the next guy will come up. I would, I think the first known good shooter, I decided to take a chance on him, go 44 in, and I think I got 1 or 2 hits. He's $7. Like, okay. So then the next guy comes up. I go 6'8". He got 1 hit, $7. And as you can see, notice that's a slow drain. By the time the dice made its way around, I was rebuying for another $200. I hadn't even touched the dice yet. Here I am rebuying for $200, just like that. And I'm at the casino for less than 30 minutes. Okay, so here we go. Yep, dice came around to me. Okay, so first thing, as soon as I picked up the dice, I bought in. I said, okay. My initial plan was to go 6'8" on myself and just kind of spread out my. Now since I done lost a couple hands, I'm thinking, okay, let me just go ahead and go 64 across on myself, and maybe I can get something going here. First mistake, okay, going 64 in on myself. As soon as I picked up the dice and I tossed the chopper, the first thing that happened was the dice were hitting the table, trying to figure out where my ideal landing zone was to get that one hop that takes him to the back wall. The dice were hitting I was getting the one hop, but the dice was shooting off and going up into the hook, into the mixing bowl, and getting kicked out. And I was trying to I was like, what the hell is going on? And so the toss was really just as bad as random. Okay, really, really random. And this happened for about maybe 3 or 4 tosses, and I'm at 64, and I'm basically, I think I pressed up the 2 hits at first, and then I'm like, okay, and I'm trying to figure out, trying to get comfortable in the toss as far as getting the dice to do what I want them to do. Well, after this went on, the 7 came very quick. Okay, that was obvious because the dice were hitting and going up into the hook and just kind of flipping over. One dice will go up into the hook and flip over. And what I ended up after this went on for a few hands, it took a while for the dice to go around. So this is about 2 hours in, and the dice come back around, and what I realized was that I wasn't locking in. When I say lock in, I normally take my free hand and pull my body tightly up against the chip rail And what it does is when I bend over the chip reel to pick the dice up, it allows my body to be in like the perfect shooting position for the chopper. Well, I wasn't doing that, so I was kind of almost fully erected and kind of shooting straight down the don't pass line. And what was happening is the dice would hit and go straight into the mixing bowl and get kicked out, and it was a mess. It was a mess. So I figured out, okay, you know what? Once I locked in took my right hand and pulled my body up tight against the chip rail, it's like, got it. Because as soon as I bent over, I was like, hey, this feel like what I do at home in practice. Now this is feeling more right. So then, you know, no grip issues, anything. The dice was hopping, going to the back wall. I was like, okay, great. Problem solved. Okay? Huh. By this time here, we're down another 200 bucks. In for 400 now. And we've been at the casino how long now? About 2 hours, coming up in 3 hours. So, and like I said, slow bleed. So now I got that issue solved. Uh, the dice finally comes back to me, and when I get ready to toss, okay, the dice are hitting. Now they go into the back wall, and after they take that nice one hop to the back wall, they're ricocheting off from the base of the back wall. Now, for those of you that see me toss the chopper, forget me. For those of you that see Cashier K's toss the chopper, you know when those dice land, they just land, skip, and die. Okay, they take that one hop and die. That what was happening with my dice? It was taking that one hop and getting to the base of the back wall and kind of bouncing back, rolling back some. And this was happening consistently, which meant one thing. Yeah, I was too close. Okay, and like I said, what was happening was I was trying to use the same area, the pickup spot that I had used in the past for my Golden Touch GTC par toss. It wasn't working. So I had to figure out again. Even though I'm shooting from stick right to getting the exact position, and for me, I shoot from exactly 9 feet 6 inches away, okay, from the back wall, and not like they're gonna let you walk up in the casino and break out a tape measure. I wish they would. That would make life very easy. And my hand is actually from the side wall, 12 inches from the side wall. So I kind of have to figure out where these distances are at. Plus, as you know, I don't have a table. I have a throne rig, so I have to take and try to translate these guesstimates onto a regular table and get everything locked in. So by the time I was able to do that and figure out, okay, you know what, move back just a little bit, and then my landing zone became the field area down on the next side, the 8. I was actually looking at the 8 and no, not the 8, the 9 and 10 in the field area on the other side. That became a landing zone, so a landing area. So as I would release the dice, I was focused on hitting my target area, was hitting the 10, and the dice would skip, hop, boom, get to the back wall and died. This was all fine and well. As soon as that happened, now, as soon as I got that going, my toss went. I think initially I had like maybe 1 PSO and maybe 3 very short roll hands of about 2 to 3 hands in that 3 hours, waiting for the dice to go around 6 people and come back and all that stuff. And so as soon as I got all these bugs worked out with the chopper, my first hand that I threw was a 14. Okay, I was like, yes, but again, by this time, I'm now down close to well over 700 bucks. Yeah, I was down. Actually, I was down $1,000 by this point, and this was about 4 hours in. Okay, I'm down $1,000, and now I'm dialed and I'm feeling good about my toss. Everything is clicking, and but again, the bankroll has took a substantial hit for such a short period of time. I'm like, okay, so now I'm betting conservatively. That's the problem right there. I'm betting conservatively because hell, I'm gun shy. You know, I've been bitten by the snake, and I'm like, hey, you know, so. But my toss is dialed in. Okay, first, like I said, first hand, once everything started clicking, was a 14. The next hand was a 25 roll hand, and I hit the ATS, the tall on that hand. So I'm like, okay, everything's looking good. And I think I went 64 across and press for 5 hits, took my bets down, and then just try to start going through progressions, which at that level, yeah, for what I had lost, trying to recoup that, yeah, as you can see, that's not gonna happen. I needed to be at least at green chip level, pressing, you know, uh, just going through progressions like Ed say, and I would have probably made some money on that. But again, you know, I was. It took me so long to get dialed in. All these little problems I was having for, because this is the first time I was using the chopper at this casino on this table. But you know, now I'm more cognizant of how to translate where I need to be at on the table, and hopefully now I can move this to any table. You know, it's a 14-foot table. I don't think there's too many 12s out there anymore, but okay. So like I said, that my second hand was a 23 roll. The third hand was an 18 roll hand. So, you know, again, I wasn't betting any money. I was just happy that I finally got the damn toss working, and I'm dialed in and everything's working great. So I'm like, yes, yes. Okay, so that worked out. That worked out great. And I made a little money. Like I said, I was down 1,000, made it back to 700. You know, and each time initially early on, each time I bought it was 200, 200, 200. I think I might have did that about 4 times. It was just a slow bleed down, 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 and you go up, go down, but ended up being down as much as 1,000, coming back up to 700. So that's how that went on. Okay, uh, but actually before I got dialed in, okay, let's see, I can get my notes here. There was a second little problem that I had. Okay, there was a second little problem that I had with the chopper, and again, this was on me. Okay, like I said, did I already mention this? Yeah, the dice were hitting the back wall and ricocheting off the base and rolling out. So yeah, that's when I made that adjustment as far as the distance goes. So yeah. Okay. Just going over my notes here. So yeah, made a little money on that toss. So all that went well. Okay, and that was all day one stuff. Now, day two, I took and went over to actually day one, I went over to Sam's Town next door. After playing at Bali's for about the first 4 hours that I was there, and went down 1,000, came back up 700. Then I went next door to Sam's Town, and the tables over there were $5. It's like, oh, five. Yeah, Sam's Town. Hey, just so you know, Sam's Town during the week have $5 crab table. I was like, whoa. So I got on there, and again, nothing. Toss was working right. So got on the table over there, and again, it was more of the same as far as it wasn't as bad. Trying to get dialed in over there, walked up to the table, knew right about where I needed to be, my pickup zone, my launch area, and where I needed to land the dice. Work like clockwork. However, once again, because I already had in my mind, okay, this is day one. I'm not gonna commit any more serious money to day one and save it up for day two. I was like, I'm just gonna buy it for 200, and had a decent roll, but I wasn't betting anything. And then, went around the table. I think I stayed there and was able to play on that table for a couple hours on that $200, till finally, it dwindled away. But I, you know, so by that time, I think went back down about to 900 and left out of there. So ended the day down for the session probably about $900. So it's like, okay, next day I was thinking day two started, you're laying there in bed and you're trying to figure out your game plan for the next day. Because when we actually, before we went upstairs that night, got on the table, and before I went upstairs that night, we went back because we were staying at Bali's, went back over to Bali's, got on the table over there, and the regular crap table was open, got on there, and that table set up a little bit different from the crap table, so I wasn't sure if I could use the same markers, okay, that I use for my reference as far as distance from the back wall and all that stuff. But I went ahead and tried it out, and my markers basically, when I say, I put my hand specifically on the L in pass line, then that's my pickup zone, and then I slide my hand up underneath the D in what the hell is that about? In field, okay, and that's the launch area, and then my area as far as landing is, the field area on the other side, and I aim for what? Put the dice in the area of about the 9 and 10. They skip one time and they go to the back wall. So I got on that table, the regular crap table, used those markers, and you know what? Boom. Everything worked out. I was like, great, I'm in. Bought it for 200. Went 160 across, pressed for 5 hits, regressed my bets. It's like, okay, yeah, everything's working. Everything worked out great. Once again, at this stage, I know it's going to be hard to recover because I'm down so deep, and didn't want to go in my pocket and break out any more money, more than what I had committed for the day. So when all was said and done, I think I left the table at night, heading back to the room, down about $600, because I did get some good rolls. Think I hit the ATS. Always put the dealers up for 2-1-2 on the ATS. I hit the ATS and had a couple of rolls in the high teens. Okay, a couple of rolls in the high teens. So everything was working great, but I wish all this had worked out initially, like when I first got there. But again, the best laid plan goes out the window. So anyhow, that was all day one. Day one, made it back to the room, like I said, down by $600. Day two, I decided, you know what? Let me just go down here and see if I can recoup my money without making a big investment, because now I'm really trying to protect the bankroll here. And so I go downstairs, buying for 200, crapless crap table, and I get on there. I have a couple of decent rolls, and things go up, things go down, and that $200 that I bought in for at 2 o'clock when I on day two when I came down and got a table, I played on that $200 from 2 o'clock until 7 o'clock in the evening. That's how long, without a rebuy or anything. Just through my rolls. There was a couple for the decent, good shooters on there, and they did well. So it was kind of going up, down, and of course, what you hoping for? You hoping for the big hit to come from the ATS. A lot of us made. I made the ATS myself. The I think two. Yeah, I think two other people made the ATS, but we all either hit the small or the tall. Nobody ever made them all. So had that happened, my bankroll would have come back to being 100% intact and all that stuff. And it's like, okay, so that never happened. But didn't hit the ATS. Okay. Now, like I said, I played it for about 5 hours on that. So then me and the wife decided to walk next door. We got something to eat first. Nothing great about the food there. Just what did we hit, the buffet? No, there's no buffet because business down there during the week is slow, very slow. Okay, so like all the buffet and all that stuff is closed. All they have open is the restaurant. Anyhow, we went got something to eat at one of the restaurants. I think we went to Smoky Joe, actually over at Sam's. Then we went inside Sam's and, standing at the table. There was a couple people playing, and I'm just observing right now, figuring, yeah, I'm about to get a table. So, and this guy looks over at me. Actually, this was one of the highlights on my trip. Okay, this guy looks over at me and he has this puzzled look in his face. He's like, "Would you have? Are you the Sarge?" I was like, "Well, yes, I am." This has never happened to me before. Hey, guys, y'all might watch my video, but I'm not known out there. I don't, not a celeb or something. But that was cool. That was cool. So he's like, "Oh man, hey, I'm glad I finally got to meet you, and I watch all your videos and stuff." And I've chatted with him, like I have with a lot of you guys in the online. He leave comments and stuff, and I respond back to him. But I've never met him. He goes by the maintenance man. Okay, and I was like, "Wow, well, nice to finally meet you." And he gave me his card and everything. His card was a nice little $20 bill card. Because I was like, "Ooh." When I see him slapped it in my hand, I was like, "Oh, $20." I was like, "Huh?" Then I realized, oh, it's his card. He's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, I won't be losing this no time soon." So anyhow, I was like, "Okay, let me go hit up the ATM and I'll be right back. It's so we can play." But when I came back, he was gone. So I was like, "Oh man." So I don't know. He must have left for a minute or something. So I got a table, played a bit, couldn't get anything going. Then the wife wanted to go back next door to Bali's, so we went back to Bali's and walked in and yeah, seen him there at the table. I was like, "Hey, what's going on, buddy?" So we kind of chit chatted. He was on the table, and there was these ladies there, and he was just don'ting the hell out of them. And he's like, "Yeah, these ladies are 7 magnets. They just throwing the hell out of this." I was like, "Okay, cool." Then I looked over the crapless crap table, and I was like, "Hey, buddy, table's empty over there, man. Absolutely nobody." It's like, "Let's hit it up." He's like, "Okay, come on, let's go." So me and him got on there. The dice comes to me, and I'm like, "Okay, all right." So I start off wrong. I go, it's crapless crap. So I break out $100, cover everything. Go, what's it? 96, 104 across or whatever. Vigs paid up everything, and I commenced to go on a pretty decent roll, a monster roll. I held them for a good little while. Probably had a 25 roll hand or so, and made the ATS. Made the tall in the ATS, and hit 2 points, and we was dapping up, high five, and felt good to have you know finally have a known good shooter there with you. I think the only other time I ran into that is up at Chalk Talk when I got to hang out with a couple of the guys from Crap Nation crew, but never in Shreveport. So anyhow, we like I said, the role turned out great. Uh, and matter of fact, while I'm talking about him, about it, I'll just kind of, when I got back, I shot him a little text saying, "Hey, it was great, pleasure shooting with you, man. I look forward to doing it again, and you got a great toss, all that good stuff, and that was fun." So he shot me back, uh, and I'll go ahead and read this to you guys. Glad to meet you, Sarge, and you're a true professional. It looked like you were at home. It looked like you were at home on a video. Everything I saw you do on the video, you did in action on the table. The chopper throw was amazing. I may have to learn it. I will be ready the next time to shoot for hours and win big with you. Can't wait to see you again. If anybody asks, Sarge is the real deal 100%. Okay, so I just thought I'll share that with you guys. And then, P.S. The Sarge made me money. Thanks. So, hey, like I said, it was great to shoot maintenance, man. Appreciate you, man. Looking forward to, if you haven't seen this video, looking forward to shooting with you again. Everything, what didn't quite work out the way I wanted to, but just shooting, getting the opportunity to shoot with you, the maintenance man, was awesome. Okay, so that was the highlight of my trip. Also, the second part of the one of the highlights of my trip was shooting with this elderly lady. I ain't gonna say elderly lady. There was this lady on the second night, right after the maintenance man left. Actually, we had a great session. Then this lady was on the tape. Actually, one of the same ladies he said was a 7 magnet came over to the crapless crap table, and she, the dice comes around to her, and she's like, I don't know what I'm doing. I was like, well, man, just go ahead and So I think on her, I go 6-8 on her. I was like, okay, this isn't gonna last no time. So I go 6-8 on her, and she takes it. She stacks the dice. She sets them to the all 7 set. Then she kind of just wings her hand, and the dice. She tumbles the dice. I was like, okay. Her technique looked okay. So I'm like, okay. After a while, she hit the 6-8, and now she done hit a 9, a 10. She's hitting everything, and it's like, okay, is this lady just pulling every one leg? Cause she keeps going. I don't know what I'm doing, but you guys are cheering for me. I was like, ma'am, just keep doing what you're doing. You're doing great. Don't change anything. Just keep doing. And every time she gets the dice, she would fiddle around with them, put them in the all 7 set. I don't know if she was consciously, she had to be. But then she would stack them, and wing them down the table. It's like, okay. Next thing you know, the lady hits the tall. I was like, yeah. I went 5-5-5. Actually, I wasn't gonna go 5-5-5 on her. I thought the guy next to her was gonna shoot, and he says, no, pass the dice. I'm thinking, what? You're not, because I've seen him shoot, but he didn't feel like shooting, so he said, pass the dice. I'm like, oh boy, what a waste of money. So anyhow, lucky thing, I did have 5-5-5 up there, because she hit the ATS on the small, and then she needed a 2. She hit the ATS on the tall. She needed a 2. Normal book ends on the tall. Actually, she needed a 3, and she could not hit. She was just rolling. And it's like, and she had a 25 roll, By the time she got finished, I had sprawled out and covered all the numbers. That lady made me some money. That lady made me some money. She's a rando. She was a rando, but well, she claimed she was a rando, but she was using the all seven set, stacking the dice like she was about to throw the chopper, and tumbling them. And yeah, pulled off a hell of a roll, man. So then after that, the dice came to me. I was like, okay, now it's. Then she goes, now it's your turn. I'm like, okay, here we go, no pressure. So I go, you know, buy back into myself, cover all the number 104 across at minimum level, and I commence to throwing, and I am 100% focused. I got my landing zone down. Mechanics are locked in tight. I'm locking into the rail. Everything's working, and I follow her roll with a 20 roll hand, 18 to 20, 20 roll hand. And she looked at me. She's like, "My God, you roll those so perfect. Your rolls are, you are so focused and concentrated." I said, "Well, ma'am, those of us that I said, well, we practice this stuff here, so as opposed to everyone else that just take them and wing them down there, which is what she's seen around the table. When they come to me, um, you know, we all locking in our landing zone and stuff. But I guess it looks like something rare to people when you don't take the dice up and just fling them down, like most folks do. Within 2 seconds after they get them, the dice are gone. You know, and I would take my time, set them, locking at my landing zone, and let them rip. And yeah, so by the time I got finished with her roll, my roll after her roll, I was actually made some money again. I was in the hole. Okay, I was in the hole, not digging myself out this hole here. I ain't gonna tell a lie. And when I don't know, when all was said and done, I ended up leaving down 1,500. Okay, I ended up leaving the casino being down 1,500. All that wasn't a crap table. I did play a little slots. I did play some three-card poker. Didn't play any blackjack, but I had fun. That was the main thing. Me and the wife had a ball. Uh, Highlighted trip was meeting the maintenance man and shooting with that old lady. Oh, yeah. So now here's the funny thing. I forgot this part. The guy who passed the dice said, he was going to shoot. She was standing next to him, and he had betted the ATS. And when he see she had, after she hit the tall on the ATS, he said, "If you hit that two, that three in the small, I'm gonna give you a lap dance." Why you tell this old lady that this? She's like, "Well, hell, I want my lap dance," and she starts winging them dice down there. I'm getting a lap dance. Lord, it was the funniest thing. All the dealers, everybody at the table fell out. She was so looking forward to this lap dance, and she's 7 out. So she's like, "I guess I'm not getting my lap dance." He's like, "Nope." It's like, oh, come on, dude. So it was cool. That was that again. That was a highlighted trip. That added some levity to the whole situation. So, but all that being said, I had a great time down in Shreveport. I got locked in. I know I now know my ideal pickup zone. Okay, my ideal landing zone. Okay, and this is the first time that I'm really using the chopper. Uh, Probably as close to properly using it as Cashier Cage has you know, demonstrated. Because in the past I've used it from a stationary position. I've used it. This I'm using the drag and drop. You know, adding that little slow pendulum on it, and that makes a, for me anyhow, it makes a difference. So it worked out like a ball, but uh, what I, every night, just as I was about to go up to the room, whether it was the first night or second night, after I figured out everything, my toss would be on point. This seems to always happen. My toss gets on point and my bankroll is devastated. And I'm already gun shy and I don't want to, you know, go into the hole any deeper. So it's what I think I'm going to start doing when I get to the casino. As opposed, maybe if when I get there in the early runnings, you know, getting a table, spend maybe $100 or so getting dialed in, see if I can get something going with that. But basically, just to check my mechanics and get everything intact, and wait till about 1 to 2 a.m. when the table has cleared out, when the dice can go around and get back to me quicker. Because later on in the evening, when it was only like maybe 2 or 3 of us on the table, and those dice, you know, whether we PSO'd or whatever, the dice will get back to you quicker. And if they didn't get back to you quicker, it was because somebody was having a hell of a roll, which was a good thing. You know, by then you had figured out who was a good shooter, whether you want to bet on him, or whether you just want to grow with that shooter, even though he's a rando. You 6-8 him, then you just start spreading out. So, but I'm thinking, and I wrote this down. I think I'm gonna start approaching the game differently. When I get to the casino, buy for $100, use that to try and get dialed in, then go get some rest, then by 2 a.m. come back down, buy in with $1,000 bankroll, buy in for 500, and go to 160 across, like I've been saying, and I might modify that later on, but this is what I have written down right now. Because I'm actually thinking about a different, I don't even want to say strategy, a different style of play, but it's what I'm wearing. 160 across, 3 hits, regress. I want to play, it's so much easier to get 3 hits and make money if you are playing at the green level, you know, $25 chips. You got something to regress to. If you're playing at red, okay, now you're pressing up trying to get there and you have to stay up longer and try to recoup. Or you can just try to go through progressions and grow and see. Then what you're hoping for is a long roll. And, you know, we know those are few and far between. They do happen, but not as much, okay? But, yeah, if you can get 3 hits and regress, 2 hits and regress, but the thing is you got to have the bankroll. What screwed me up and not being able to get there was trying to get dialed in, the slow bleed on my bankroll, and then by the time I got dialed in, I didn't want to, you know, I guess you could say human mentality took in, self-preservation. I don't want to go in and buy in at 500, then possibly, okay, yeah, maybe I got scared. Okay, maybe that's it. Okay, but had that happened when I first got there, and I took a hit at, you know, 160 across and PSO'd, okay, fine, bankroll still intact. But here I am when I first got down playing at the, you know, $10 across, 64 across level, and it's a slow drain on the bankroll, and before you know it, you know, you haven't even betted, played at the, you know, $25 chip level, and at what I was trying to do too at some point was, especially in day 2, I just figured, as opposed to going in at 160, I'm just gonna press my bets up till I get to $25 bets, green all the way across, and then see if I can press those up and regress. Didn't happen. Okay, didn't happen. Had some nice rolls and I press, but guess what? Never regress. So I left it all on the table. Stayed up too long, but that was because I was starting way too low. I'm starting, at 64 across and then pressing, trying to get to green, which is where you can make some decent money at. And yeah, never quite happened. So, like I said, my game plan, is to hopefully approach this game differently, and you might not see the Sarge playing at the casino in the, early in the evening. And I'm gonna be sleeping, and by 2 a.m. the night owl's gonna come out, and guess what? I'll be ready to let it roll. No fear. Hey, where that no fear at? There we go. No fear. Anyhow, I done blabbered long enough. But hey, just want to say appreciate you. Thank you for watching. Had a ball down there in Shreveport, and looking forward to do it again. Probably next time I'm be going to Choctaw. We alternate between the two, so yeah. But and yes, I'll go ahead and end on this point. It was a losing session. I left down 1,500. So can't win them all the time. Shit happens. But I'm okay with that. It'll always be next time. I'll be ready for them. All right. Yo, this been a Sarge. Take care, my peeps. Sarge out.